Sheila Mullan. I'm a senior journalist / analyst at ITC, In Touch Capital Markets. I have been a member on and off since about the early 1990s with the New York Financial Writers Association. I was the president in 2007 and an active Follies participant. I would say it's a good specialty to get into the financial journalism area, as everybody needs to know what's happening with their markets, with their 401k, with their savings. It's a relatively steady part of the profession, and also it's quite important. I mean, it's never slow. Sometimes it's slow, but rarely dull. There's always something going on, and it's really matters to your bottom line. And what you learn at work, you can apply to keeping your own investment safe, and you know what's happening. If the stock market slides 5%, you're aware of that. So you're aware of an awful lot of things that affect your own bottom line when you come home and you look at your 401k. I had quite a long stint of freelancing with the New York Post, and that was in addition to my full-time job as senior bond reporter at Market News International, and I would write Sunday pieces for the New York Post, and so really thousands of dollars of income. I mean, I was able to do freelancing for them for 13 years. I mean, through one tip from the New York Financial Writers Association. So, and also some other fairly lucrative assignments also. But besides that, just a nice crowd of people to hang out with, and they buy you drinks, they give you snacks in case you're hungry. I mean, you exchange numbers, you meet some people who can advance you in your career. I mean, what's not to love? And then once you've been there for a little while, you can apply for the Edward Switnicki grant, where they pay for you to go get, say, a college course on, say, video editing or this or that. I mean, it's an extraordinarily generous proposition. That's why I really strongly advise people to go for the club. Oh, the most memorable Follies experience was in 2007, the good times when I was, when the stock market was booming, and I was the president, and I had to go out and deliver the speech and tell people to kind of pipe down and get ready for the dinner and the song and dance show. And unbeknownst to me, one of the actors who's in the show, called Jay, a professional actor, he came out and in this booming voice he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you the New York Financial Writers Association Financial Follies." And it was a surprise. So anyway, it was just very funny because he really did have this booming actor's voice, and everybody did quiet down. So people are always keeping their ears to the ground, and the importance, I would say, of being in a networking group like the New York Financial Writers Association is more important today than it was even, say, 10 or 20 years ago. So it's very important in an atmosphere where it's not what you know, it's who you know, to know people. So you can be the world's greatest journalist, but if you sit at home and only access people through the website, you're just not going to get ahead, in my opinion. I'd say the profession of financial journalism in some ways has become, the subject matter has become more complicated. Like if you cover the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasuries market, it's just become more complicated with the whole great financial crisis. There's an awful lot of things that the Federal Reserve is doing, technical things that you have to keep up on. Also, I'd say the profession of financial journalism has changed because maybe in the past you might be a print reporter alone, and now maybe you might be a print reporter and a website reporter and an audio reporter and a video reporter, all kinds of different things depending on where you're working. So that's would be the biggest change that I'd see. My fondest memories would be seeing the same people and new people at the meeting, camaraderie, where you see people, you're able to talk to people. But also I was thinking about that, and I thought it's also the opportunity to give back, because, knock on wood, I've got a secure job, and I remember how it felt when you're starting out. You don't know anybody, you don't have any strings to pull because you don't know anybody. So if you can help somebody start out, get their first job, get their first connection, tell them how to operate in a certain way, tell them what is the best way to approach such tricky situation, or how to approach a source, or who's a good source. It's nice to give back. A lot of people helped me coming up, including through this organization. Sally Heineman was my editor, God rest her soul, and she was the one who urged me to join the Financial Writers, and I'm very grateful to people, and I can give back a little bit by helping somebody else coming in.